Well, welcome back. So we have these simple lights that we've created, simple light blueprints where we can just go in and we can turn them on and off like so, and we can have different colors and a different minimum and maximum value. I think the last thing that we're going to look at in this set of introductory videos is how to create a little bit of player interaction. So it's one thing to be able to just sort of go near it and turn it on. What if we want the player to be able to turn it on and off and have it up to them to control? Well, what do we need? We need, number one, we need to somehow detect that we're near the light and that we should be able to interact with the light. So we might want to interact with this one, but then when we're facing this one or we're close to this one, we might want to interact with that one. And then when we're near this one, we might want to interact with that one. So that's part of it. The other thing is, of course, we need to communicate to the player that they can interact with it and also maybe how they're going to interact with it as well. So we need to work out these things. So let's do the first part. Ooh, what's going to be the first part? Let's see what we can do. Maybe if we go back here, let's have a look at another command, I guess. So we've got begin overlap and end overlap. At the moment, we're getting that to set the intensity like so. What I might do, in fact, is create a copy of this light. So we've got the original one still there, and we're going to add some. Something more to this one. So if we just come into here, we should be able to duplicate this one. Control D and interactive light. Let's say interactive light 3. Why not? That'll do. And let's just save that one. We're going to close this one. And what we might do is just, let's perhaps just delete these two others here. And open up our new interactive light 3. Okay, so we're going to make some changes in this one. So what have we got so far? We have our construction script where we're setting our start intensity and the light color. We'll keep those, I think they're pretty good. And we've got our light color, start intensity, and maximum intensity right here. So, and we've made those available externally. So if we click on this one, we've got in our default section, our light color, start intensity, and maximum intensity. So I guess the first thing we want to do is to detect when the player enters our box. So at the moment, I guess what we're going to do is we can break these, I guess, right at the moment. We'll break both of those and do something else to begin with. We're going to come back and set those a little bit later. You'll notice when we've got our overlap event, we have the overlapped component, which is us, that's us. And then we have something called the other actor, which is the other actor that has actually overlapped our box, our collision box here. There's some other things as well, but we don't need to worry about those. What we're really interested in is the other actor. Now it's going to be our player. And what we want to do is check that the other actor, number one, we're going to check that the other actor is the actual player character. The way we work out what the player character class is to come into here and where are we? If we look at the game mode, we're going to go into the more depth in this. We want to open this up where it says selected game mode. And it is going to tell us our default pawn class, which is none at the moment. Okay, that's interesting. So presumably we're just getting whatever. We have no default game mode, no default pawn class. Let's maybe just check. What are we getting from our project settings? So if we go down again, same place, maps and modes. Our default game mode is the first person game mode, and the default pawn class is our first person character. Now that's interesting. I'm wondering whether that's actually what we're using here. So let's just check. Let's go and grab the game mode. Our first person game mode, that was the one, wasn't it? Let's just check here. BP first person game mode, yeah. So we're going to look at these in detail soon, but let's just grab these for now. And let's see if that makes any difference, actually. So if I play now, okay, so we've still got the same player character. That's okay. We don't have a gun or anything, which is interesting, but that's okay. All right, so what happens? I'm just going to close that. That's fine. Happy with that. In here, let's grab our other actor, and let's just make sure. So when we hit that, let's just do a... in fact, let's just do... We're going to do a print string. Whoops. Print... No, my typing is terrible. Okay, print string. And what I'm going to do, just to make sure that we know what the actor is, let's grab that and let's just type name. And what do we get coming up here? Get display name. So let's, pretty sure that's the one we want. We can get display name here. Let's use that one perhaps. Get display name and return the value. So that's going to tell us what class our player character is. So let's just go around here. This time, oh, hang on. Of course, I actually need to put our new, let's just save that as all, Control-Shift-S. Drag that in. Okay, no problem. Let's just check start intensity 0. And max intensity is going to be 8. Let's change the color. We're going to make that green now. Cool. Alright, so let's just come in here. Now it should, this one still should work as it is because we've just created a duplicate. And this one should, if we look at the top left-hand corner, BP first person character. Aha, fantastic. So we know we're actually getting the player character that we're after. And if we have a look, just do that one more time. So you can see there, BP first person character. If we come out of here, world settings and default pawn class, which is the one we've got, is BP first person character. Okay, all well and good. So what we're actually going to do is, I'm just going to delete that. We don't need that anymore. Actually, no, let me undo that. I'll try and leave these things in here so that you can see how they work. So I might leave that there. We are going to say cast to, and we want to cast it to the object name here. So BP first person character, and we're going to need to go up because it's a B. Cast to B. No. Oh, cast to BP first person character is right here. Okay, so what this does is that it checks, it tries to cast this actor that we're getting through here. Now an actor can be anything that can be placed in the level. And we're saying, okay, is this basically a first person character, BP underscore first person character? So let's just grab that there. And then we've got two options. We have, basically this is yes, or we have cast failed. So we have also no. If it says no, what I'm going to suggest is whenever you do anything like this and you have a failed here, don't just leave it sitting there. We don't need to necessarily get it to run anything particular, but what we do want to do is actually have another print string. And this is just kind of for your own sanity. So print string and have something like cast BP. Whoops. Yeah, that actually first person character failed. Now that just tells me in case this does fail, instead of this going off to nothing, I'm actually getting a message saying, hey, look, something's going wrong here. Maybe I might actually change the type of character that I'm using, and the first person cast no longer works. So it's going to tell me if I do something like that. So highly recommend whenever you have something like this, you have a failed, you just put a little print string there saying, hey, you know, something's gone wrong. And look, we'll just do the same here. So we're just going to check again, make sure this actually works. It should work. So let's hit play again. Go to a new one. Now don't forget we've disabled the lighting, but we've got here. So BP first person character, that is succeeding. So we're actually casting, and it's telling me, yes, I do have a character, which is great. Fantastic. So I'm getting a character off here. Now I've got the option again here as well, if I want to, of actually creating a variable here now as well. So I can just do this, and I can say, look, promote this to a variable, and this is going to be my I like to just call this my player character. For me, that's just the default name that I tend to use. If you want to get the character at any time, just in general, you can just right click here and say get player character. So that's up there. So I tend to use the so it's like this, like so. I tend to use the same name. So what we're getting through there is the player character. We'll look at that in more detail again later. So as first person character, so we're actually getting the player character. We're setting our variable as the player character, and you'll notice if we come down here, when I drag and say give me a variable of this type, one of the benefits of this is I don't have to go searching for the type of variable. You'll see if we come up here, the variable type is BP first person character. If we come down here, I can type that into here, BP underscore, and you'll see we got first person character. So we could come into here and just say, yeah, we're an object reference to that. So it's like a pointer if you're used to pointers. If you're not, don't worry about it. That's just we need that object reference. But it does it for us by default. So we already have this here. And this is going to give us a link to our player character that we can use in here as well whenever we need to. So we've got that player character. Now, the other thing that we can do is, let's just move this out of the way. We're getting cluttered here a bit. Let's move that there and move this over here. We can do, remember how this actually works. We want to set our input. So let me just can we do this from here? Input. This may not work. Let me grab. Can I grab this one? I can't grab that one. Let me just try. I might have to go on. Okay, let me pause here for a second because I need to go and just check something. We're going to basically make it so that the player character is giving input to our light, and it's pretty easy to do. Let me just go and remind myself, and I'll be back in just a second.